Hey guys, Hannah here with the Film Magic. Today I'm going to be ranking Jennifer Lawrence's top 10 films. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more movie content. I would say the golden age of Jennifer Lawrence was from about 2010 to 2017. I mean, for those 7 years, she was working not only really consistently, but she was churning out amazing performances across a wide range of genres. And I think it's safe to say that for the majority of the 2010s, Jennifer Lawrence was the it girl. Jennifer Lawrence has acted in, I want to say, upwards of 20 films. So today I'll only be ranking the top 10, but I will say that across her entire filmography, we really see that no matter what role she's playing or what genre of movie she's in, she commits completely to the role. I mean, we can see that so consistently across all of her films. So without further ado, let's get started on ranking her top 10 films. Coming in at number 10, we have the infamous Passengers, starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I included this in the top 10 because despite its many points of contention, which, I think are absolutely warranted, this is overall a pretty entertaining thriller / romance. Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence are an interesting matchup, to say the least, but honestly, I think it works. I don't think I would have thought to put them two together, but they have surprisingly great chemistry. Overall, if nothing else, this is an engaging, if not slightly predictable, 2 hours. At number 9, we have Red Sparrow, which is a Russian spy thriller that is really pointed and surprisingly graphic about a Russian prima ballerina turned spy. This film came out in 2018, I believe, and I honestly really enjoyed watching Lawrence in this because it really marked such a departure from the roles that she had previously typically been cast in. The way that she plays this character, this Russian spy, is so subtle, but it really invites the audience into her head. So we see her manipulating other people, but at the same time, she's kind of unreliable. So it's almost like this double manipulation where we're being manipulated too, even though we're inside her head. And I think that just speaks to the depth and complexity of her performance. Lawrence really excels in the extreme drama. The main issue that I had with this film, and the reason that I didn't rank it higher than I did, is because honestly the plot was extremely tangled and confusing and didn't really make any sense. Toward the end, I honestly kind of just gave up trying to figure out what was going on, which if you're going to watch this film, I kind of recommend just enjoying it. Don't try and figure out what's happening on some higher level, because honestly with this film it's kind of a fruitless endeavor. Now at number 8, I've put Joy, and I know this might be a little controversial just because this film was so well received by so many and Lawrence's performance was wonderful, but the reason I ranked it as low as I did is because it was good, it was entertaining enough, but it didn't really stand out to me as a career definer for Lawrence. I think this film had so much potential to be a lot more inspiring than it was, almost kind of like an Aaron Brockovich type film, but toward the end that hope and that optimism seemed to kind of fall flat, and I think it was mainly because of the way that we got to the end, the way that we kind of had these ups and downs and highs and lows, which I think, we expect to see in a film like this, but by the end, any overarching hopeful message kind of fell flat. Ranked at number 7, we have Mother, which is honestly probably the most controversial film in Lawrence's career. I saw this in theaters when it came out, and I left the theater almost nauseous and just stunned at what I had just watched. And I'm not gonna give any spoilers away because objectively this is a good film as a whole. It definitely has some tough themes, and the final act is really hard to stomach, but if you can get through that, overall, it's a really bold and audacious and original piece of work. The reason I didn't rank it lower is mainly because of Lawrence's performance. She is the foundation of this film, and she's what kept me going, even when, you know, some of what I was seeing on the screen made me, you know, want to recoil and, you know, stop watching. Her performance kept me drawn in throughout the entire film. I mean, it's gut-wrenching, and she just commits so fully. I think it was honestly one of the best performances of her career. So coming in at number 6, we have X-Men Days of Future Past. I really enjoyed this film. I think it's a great superhero movie. You know, there's a great storyline, great character development, amazing effects. Jennifer Lawrence is good in this, but I don't really think we get to see her whole skill set and all of her abilities at work here, which is why I didn't rank it any higher than I did. At number 5, we have Hunger Games, and at number 4, we have Catching Fire. I'm going to talk about these two together because she plays the same character throughout the series. You know, Hunger Games was really the career catalyst for Lawrence. You know, she was kind of already on the scene. She had actually 2 years prior received an Academy Award nomination for her work in Winter's Bone, but she wasn't really known in the mainstream, which was why, you know, when they cast her as Katniss, this lead in this huge series that was so popular, everyone was kind of, you know, a little concerned that she would be able to carry it, but I think she more than proved the naysayers wrong. Throughout these films, she shows remarkable command of the screen, especially when you consider the fact that I think she was only 19, 20 years old when she was filming this, yet she still is able to carry all of these films on her back. I mean, these films are a true star maker, and that's exactly what they did. They made her a star. The character of Katniss is a very serious character, and I think it would have been really easy for Lawrence to accidentally make her come across as arrogant or haughty and maybe show signs of self-seriousness, but she never crosses that border. She really shows that the way that Katniss is because of her situation, her circumstance, the way that she's grown up. She's had to be the provider of her family for so many years, and Lawrence does a phenomenal job of showing all of those layers to the character. The reason that I ranked Catching Fire higher than Hunger Games is because, honestly, in my opinion, it's the best film of the whole series. Coming in at number 3, we have Winter's Bone. I'd have to say that I think this is one of the most impressive performances in Lawrence's career. It's even more impressive when you consider the fact that A, this was her first true starring leading role, and B, she is the driving force in this film, and for that I think she was more than deserving of the Academy Award nomination that she received for her performance in Winter's Bone. You know, this is a really bleak film, but her performance is so haunting yet hopeful at the same time that we're able to still have a glimmer of optimism throughout. This is a really unflinching film, and I honestly consider it a necessary viewing. So if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend watching it. Now at number 2, we have American Hustle. I genuinely love this film. I think it is so fun to watch. It's hilarious, it's entertaining and engaging throughout, and it's unpredictable. You know, it's this 70s crime drama with an amazing cast. We've got Bradley Cooper, Christian Bale, Amy Adams, and amongst this amazing cast of talented performers, of true stars, Lawrence still manages to steal the show. I love Jennifer Lawrence in this film. She is just such a force of nature in this film. You know, even though she's not the lead, when she's on the screen, you're looking at her, and you're looking at only her. She's able to capture this grit, this working woman character so well that I think other actresses might not have been able to pull off. And so, I've ranked this number 2 because I think this is one of Lawrence's most fun films, and it proves that, there isn't really a genre that she can't do. We're finally at number 1, where in the top spot I've placed Silver Linings Playbook. Now, this might be a bit of a controversial pick for the number 1 spot, but I have my reasons, so bear with me. This is truly the career-defining performance for Lawrence, in my opinion. She went on to win the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role as Tiffany. In this character, she shows amazing depth and complexity and nuance. This character is dark and abrasive, but she's also humorous, and Lawrence makes her surprisingly sympathetic throughout. As Tiffany, Lawrence really shows us everything that she's capable of as a performer. She lays it all out on the table with this film. I think that this film, it has its criticisms for, the way that it handles mental health, and I think those criticisms are warranted, sure. But, I also think that this film does a really good job of reworking the conventional plot that it follows. I think we've seen this trope before, but I don't think we've ever seen it done really well. And for that, along with Lawrence's performance, I think that this film deserves the top spot. And that wraps up my rankings of Jennifer Lawrence's top 10 films. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below, letting me know what you thought of this video, as well as what you want to see me rank next. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.